The EPCHS. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the EPCHS.com.
And belly on up to the 9-foot homemade oak bar. Pour yourself a cold one. My name is Chris Lanuti, and this is the EP Podcast, 30 minutes of good for Evergreen Park. We're going to talk organizing today, and we've got a big announcement as to what we're going to be doing this entire month to celebrate the 5-year anniversary of the EP Podcast. Your child's bright financial future starts with learning good money habits early on in life. Get them a junior savers account from the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. With a junior savers account, kids earn interest on every dollar they deposit so they can watch their money grow. I have 3 kids. That means I have 3 accounts over there. And it's interesting to watch all the accounts because they're very different. The littlest guy just has stuff in there, and I, every once in a while, just take his money and put more in there. The middle guy is trying to pay for an entire season of hockey at Brother Rice because, man, that's expensive on top of Brother Rice tuition. So he's over there flipping some burgers at Culver's, and he's just saving. So he has the biggest account. And then my 17-year-old teenage daughter, I just go in there every once in a while and go, did you really need to go to Starbucks 4 times this week? But I can keep track of what they're doing. I'm telling you, I organize everything going on with the family over at that bank in the iconic building at 95th and Pulaski. Stop in and see them today and ask them about their 4% statement savings special. That's incredible interest on a savings account. That means if you need the money, there's no penalty to get it out. But that's like a rate similar to a CD. Get in on it. They are a member of FDIC. Colleen Klimczak is down here at the bar. How are you?
Hey there. Thanks for having me. It's always fun to be here. I appreciate it.
Colleen is a professional organizer, and we're going to kick off the show with you.
Nice.
Because, people have heard of spring cleaning.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that that's something everybody says, like, okay, we're coming out of the winter. We're gonna pack up some stuff. We're going to clean some things up. We're going to get ready for the summer. I'm looking at my house, and I'm thinking to myself, fall cleaning.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've had a little bit of a weather turn in the last week or so. And now it's going to be hot this week.
I know.
And then it'll probably snow about mid-month. And then we'll have Indian summer that will pop up at the beginning of August. It'll be 102. Like, these are the confusing times. And I keep looking at the pool going like, do I close it?
Right.
Because I'm going to be upset when it's 102 on August.
You are.
On October the 3rd, I'm going to be upset.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to be like, do I keep it open? Like, what do I do? And then I'm looking at, like, the house. And
oh, yeah.
I decided there's a lot of clutter in the house.
Oh, sure.
And there's a lot of stuff that I want to pack up and
most of
move
us,
on from and just get out of my view and throw it into a bin. And I right now I'm looking at every room and I'm thinking to myself, I want a bin in every room and I'm just going to fill the bin.
Yep.
Is that reasonable? Because
sure.
I don't know if you're ever going to be able to figure out what's in the bin, because I'm going to mark them like bedroom, living room, and just throw the stuff I don't want in there anymore in there.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. No, I think, honestly, I talk a lot with individuals. Maybe I haven't talked about it. I probably have talked about it on my podcast too.
Oh, yes. Let's plug it. Your Organized Life.
That was not a plug.
You can get it anywhere podcasts can be found. And always at
peaceofmindpo.com.
There you go. And
there you go.
It is produced right here at this bar.
Yes, it is.
I am not on it. I am referenced from time to time.
This is friendly space for me. I love being here. So
I get most of my tips from producing that show.
I am so glad. That's awesome to me.
But I figured I would bring in your expertise this week for people on the EP podcast, because I think a lot of people are watching, like, the kids are back to school now.
Exactly.
You're planning the next couple of months.
Yep.
And trust me, once we get to Halloween, it's over, because now you're pulling out Halloween decorations. You're putting them away and you're bringing out Thanksgiving decorations. Yep. You're putting them away and you're bringing out Christmas decorations. Except for the weirdos that will have the Christmas decorations up here on September 29th.
Oh, yes.
But the rest of us are going to be doing so much that this is really the last month or so before those things are cluttering the house. So that's why I figured it's a good time to have you in here.
It's a great time. Well, and I think personally, any time is a great time to declutter. But so a lot of us feel in the fall, in August and September, even if we aren't in school, we kind of get that change. Today is what they call like meteorological fall. Like somebody was posting that September 1st is when we're recording this. And but as soon as the kids go back to school, like I consider that my new year. January's got nothing on like
January's
late
a break.
August.
January's a break from
but
the
like
year you're
late
in.
August,
Yeah.
beginning of September, that's when I feel like the new year, get things moving around and make some changes. That's when I feel that kind of energy. So, January's cold and we're all tired. So I much prefer this time of year for that. Chris, my family situation. So my youngest is a college student now, and
they're all out of the house?
my house is very quiet
What
at this
and
moment.
your husband doing these days?
We're flying off to Massachusetts
That's right.
for a music festival.
She was telling me she went to a music festival in Massachusetts, and I'm like, "What are you, 19?"
We can do that. My kids don't mind. They don't. It's a beautiful thing. They're kind of mad that we waited until they all went away to get cool, in their words, but that's okay.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden, mom and dad are at Coachella.
Oh, we're not that cool. No, we're not that cool. We're cool, but we're not that cool. And we probably aren't cool at all, but that's okay. So, so my guy, he went off to college. It's his sophomore year. And, I have a habit, like as soon as everybody was back to school, I would have the carpet cleaners come, and I would have the HVAC guys come and check the air conditioner and the furnace for the winter. And I would have that kind of shift and that cleaning, purging. I always feel like as soon as my youngest left for college, I started to look like room by room, what were just mini projects. I mean, honestly, our space is really pretty awesome. We're doing okay from day to day, but we can always improve. So, one of mine was like a 10-minute, and I cleared out every cardboard box from my basement stash because I have them for shipping things off. I know that more will be coming from Amazon at any moment. So I can absolutely purge all the cardboard or purge all the paper that I know needs to be recycled, or it's time to, look at the towels, and if there's gross ones, let those go and order new ones, right? So like there's always things that we can do, items to be returned, items to donate. We tend to clean out toys this time of year when the kids were little. We take a look at the garage and see if there's any kind of stuff that we need to, sell or purge for some reason. 2 people who live in my house right now, right?
Yeah.
I have 6 bikes in my garage.
What do you need that for?
I don't need 6
that's crazy.
bikes when there were 5 people living there. But like that is on my list for September, is to go on Facebook Marketplace and sell 2 of the bikes, right? So like first things first is to kind of just wander around and like look at what you want to improve, and then figuring out like, we don't have to do it all at once. That's a lot of people's thing, is they want to do everything at once, and then
I did that
rip
this
apart
week.
the house.
I did that this week. I got myself where I looked around the house and I was like, we're going to move this, and we're going to take this down,
right?
And we're going to make these moves here. And like I had Dominic moving a chair in the living room to a different place. I was like, what? This is kind of in the wrong place. I never liked it here. Like I'm doing things where I'm just looking around. I'm like, we're changing this. And
it's a beautiful thing when you can, right? Like to take that opportunity. And again, that's like a new energy thing. And like, okay, I can see how this can be better. I'm going to make it better. But I love this time of year. It's a little cooler at night. It's a little cooler during the day. We get that nice, fresh, new energy. How do we want to make the changes? And then I find it easier to like write them down so I don't just start herring off and doing crazy things all together. But man, it feels good.
Yeah.
To write out that plan, knowing that, after a couple weeks of these, like, it doesn't have to be big projects, small projects, bit by bit, and everything's going to look better.
Well, the alternative is just taking it all out in the backyard and lighting it on fire. But I don't want to do that.
The neighbors could complain, and we're both here in Evergreen Park, so
it's probably an ordinance or something.
You now have witnesses on the other end of this microphone who are going to go, oh, there's smoke over in Southwest Quadrant.
There's a happening over at the Lanuti house.
Chris is feeling
that's a rarity. Yeah, exactly. Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through Evergreen Park. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them. All right, so if we're looking at fall cleaning,
yes,
can you give some quick tips here before we move on, like things that people should definitely do and not do? Like anything that kind of comes to the top of your mind, like if you're planning on making these decisions, like are bins a good idea? Should you be throwing stuff out that you know you're never going to keep?
Absolutely.
Or do you just throw it all in there to get it out of the way and then go through the bin 2 weeks from now?
Got it.
You know, because sometimes I've done that. I've walked in and been like, this is a mess. Put this all in bins, stick it over there, and at my leisure, I'll pull the bin out with a trash can next to it and start separating things.
No, I love that idea. So as long as you actually have to go back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I have a bin from when I moved here.
Okay.
Into this house when my daughter was a baby. And we came over here
and
we moved in, and there's a bin in the back that still has a couple rolls of toilet paper from the apartment in Beverly that we were living in.
It's okay.
And I saw it the other day. I was like, man, that's some old toilet paper.
That is, but you know, it probably still does the job, right?
I never got to that bin after I moved into the house 17 years ago.
It doesn't expire. Toilet paper is toilet paper. If it was cleaning supplies or like some shampoo, I would not risk it.
No, I would not use that. I don't think the Per Plus lasts that long.
Oh, no. Per Plus. I use that. That's hilarious. I love that. So yeah, you can. I like starting with a list, like I as opposed to just going in and starting to take things apart. Whenever I teach my classes, I usually mention, like, do not tear apart every room in your house at the same time.
Right.
You're gonna curse my name later, right? So this is the proof. You're all my witnesses. Do not take apart every room at the same time, or you will just be unhappy.
Do something. Get that done.
And finish. Yes.
Finish it.
Complete it.
Feel
put it back
good
away.
About yourself.
Oh, take that moment and revel in the done.
Right. Little fist pump, like that's out of here. And then move on. Like a lot of patting yourself on the back and feeling good about yourself. I
do that a lot with my clients. Like, raise your right hand, reach around, and pat yourself on the back, because sometimes we're the only ones doing it.
All right. Where do people go to get more tips from you?
peaceofmindpo.com.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I finished your question. Yes, you can absolutely pull everything out and put it in a bin.
Yeah.
But you have to commit to the reviewing it later.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise you just get a forest of bins.
Right.
And we don't want that. But, you know, that boost that comes from the immediate, like, a bin of things left this space and it feels better already.
Yeah.
That's also its own prize.
I know.
Right? Like,
I know. That's awesome.
Nice. Good
That's
for
awesome.
you. I love it. All right. Cool. Obviously, I get a little excited about this kind of stuff. Just a little. But that's okay.
All right. So while you're down here, Colleen,
Yeah.
I did want to mention to you, it is the 5-year anniversary of the EP podcast.
Congratulations. Amazing.
Well, the weird thing is I was trying to figure out where the anniversary was. Yeah. And I had to go back and look at it. And it looks like what I was doing at the very beginning is that I released some shows like on the last couple days of August 5 years ago into September over the weekend.
Okay.
Because back then you couldn't get on Spotify or some of the other podcast channels until you had 5 episodes.
Had an episode.
So I did everything very rapidly because I knew that we were going to be out at the Most Holy Redeemer Barbecue Bash early in September that year.
Of course you
and it was
are.
going to be the first time I was going to be in public.
You always
and
are.
I made a banner up that showed all the apps that we were on.
I love it.
And I was like, I'm not going to be on those apps if I don't get these shows out real quick. So it was just like a hodgepodge of just stuff that I put out real quick.
Okay.
So I'm looking at it as a month instead of looking at a specific day.
Got it.
Because there isn't like a specific day where everything was turned on, but it was the month of September 5 years ago. And we've done nearly 400 shows in that time.
Congratulations.
And
that's remarkable.
It's insane the amount of listenership, and we've been very lucky with all the people. I mean, I'll tell you, I don't normally talk about who listens to the show and how many people listen to the show. In a given month, the EP podcast in an area with 7,000 households gets an Internet Advertising Bureau or IAB certified household complete download where they listen to the whole thing.
Right.
We get up to 3,500 of them a month, which means that's like a 50 share in radio for the Evergreen Park.
Sure.
Like, you know, Howard Stern was cool, but he never had a 50 share. I'm just saying, right?
Okay, and I am 4 of those listens if we do like every week.
No, but you're not 4 of the listens because an IAB certified household download
people.
is not individual people. So you're one. if you listen and your husband listens and one of the kids listen and you're all listening off the same router or on the same thing, I'm only getting credit for one. So then you can look at the actual number, looking at like how much bandwidth is used.
Yeah.
Multiply that number by 4.
That's
so the
amazing.
amount of listens we get people outside of Evergreen Park, because it's actually more than 7,000. It's closer to 14,000 times the EP podcast will be listened to in any given month. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
It's insane to me, okay? Yay. Seriously. So, I just want to say thank you to all of you out there for that, because that has been so consistent over the last couple of years. And there aren't podcasts that get that. And I get all these people constantly calling me up trying to figure out how to do what I do. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea. I don't know how it happens. It's absolute luck. But what we're going to be doing, and we're going to hear it here before the show is over, for the rest of the month, you will hear from time to time the best stuff that has happened, or the most interesting stuff, or just stuff that I want to share again from the first 5 years before we put it in the vault, or in this case, put it in the bin.
Oh, there you go.
We're going to sort it into the bin. That's another reason why Colleen is here. I'm going to organize it all out and move on. So there's going to be stuff you're going to hear that may not have aired for 4 years. We're going to take a look back at some of the weird things that have happened over the last 4 years, because I don't know if you remember, the world got weird in the middle of that.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So,
did that happen?
And we're going to try to bring back some of our classic guests that have been on that, and just kind of catch up with them and stuff. So it's going to be a fun month, and I'm looking forward to it. I figure we come out of the Battle of Evergreen Park.
Yeah.
And we go right into this with the anniversary.
And
then we get to October, and we'll have ghost stories, and we'll get to Christmas.
Is there an Oktoberfest this year?
There is an Oktoberfest. I will be there.
Okay.
The EP podcast will be out there on October the 7th.
Oh.
Evergreen Park is doing it.
I do believe, because it's always right down the street from my house, that I also will be there.
Nice.
So, nice.
Nice.
Oh, I love that. That's
all
awesome.
Right.
Okay.
That's good. Colleen's helping us organize. We're getting all the good stuff out, and then we're packing it away, and there's another 5 years or maybe 10 in front of us. And this is the EP Podcast, found anywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the EPPodcast.com. It is now time for your EP Podcast Word on the Street, brought to you proudly by Spoke and Vine Wine Bar and Bottle Shop, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. Incredible small plates. And when I say small plates, I am not implying that you are not going to eat well. Oh no, that's like the technical term. Go get the meatball. The meatball can feed a family of 4. I'm convinced of it. Thing is, though, unless you got grown kids, they're not getting in there. It's a 21 and over spot. They're carting babies over there. I love it. Have an adult night out, sample some wines, have a great time, Spoke and Vine, right in the heart of Evergreen Park at 95th and Kedzie. Big week in the EP, coming out of the concert and fireworks over at Sexton Park. On Labor Day, there's a 6:30 meeting of the Board of Trustees for the Village of Evergreen Park on a Tuesday. The farmers market continues to be open as we go into the fall, 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. over at EPCHS Field on Thursday. And on the 9th, kicking off at 9 a.m. going until 2 in the afternoon this Saturday, is the Memories to Go village-wide garage sale at EPCHS Field. Over 80 vendors. It is free to go in and browse around, look for your own treasure. If you have some free time, I'm telling you, the place to be on Saturday is over at EPCHS Field. One other thing you should be thinking about this week, even though you have until a week from this Friday on the 15th of September to get your vehicle sticker taken care of. Do it online this year. I did it that way. It was quick. It was easy. It came very fast in the mail. Go to evergreenpark-ill.com, use your credit card, see all the different ways you can also get your new vehicle sticker right there on the website. The village is also hiring a part-time crossing guard. Crossing guards responsible for the safety of school children going to and returning from school at an assigned location. Go to their website, learn all about it. On a recent episode, if you missed it, go back and listen. The second annual Evergreen Park Garden and Art Walk was announced by Dan Doyle right here at this 9-foot homemade oak bar. It's happening on Saturday, September the 16th from 1 to 4 p.m. with live music at the last house on the walk, that is Dan's house, 4 until 7 p.m. And trust me, you could probably pepper in a couple of Evergreen Park establishments and make that into one heck of a Saturday in the fall. It may be a little ways out, but just announced the First United Methodist Church of Evergreen Park is having a craft and vendor show in November. 9358 South Homan. They are looking for vendors for the November 4th event that'll be happening from 9 a.m. until 3 in the afternoon. If you are interested in being a vendor, send an email to Miss Guinny, Ginny. That might also be Ginny, but it's an email, so you can mispronounce it. Just spell it right, at sbcglobal.net. That's your word on the street. If you have something for the word on the street, hit us up at the EPPodcast.com. You can leave a voice message. You can send us something through the contact form, or you can reach out through social media. And speaking of social media, I get a kick listening to this first memory of our 5-year anniversary month. And this EP podcast 5-year anniversary memory is brought to you by SidSauce.net. They're growing peppers in Evergreen Park. They're making hot sauces in Evergreen Park. They're dropping them off at your door. So many different flavors. Try them out. See what they have at SidSauce.net. Evergreen Park Community High School has some talented singers. In the wintertime, around the holidays, there are the Madrigals. They dress up almost like minstrels. They sing Christmas songs all over the village. They're at like every event. They come down here to the bar every year and sing for you on the EP podcast. But then in the spring, they become an a cappella group called the Unaccompanied Minors. The first time the Minors were ever down here was in our first year. And their first time down here means a lot to this podcast, because little did I know that one of the students sitting down here 5 years ago would graduate Evergreen Park High School that year, go off to college, start her own company, be recommended to me as a social media manager by our earlier guest, Colleen Klimczak, and for the entirety, basically, of this calendar year, has been running all the social media accounts for the EP podcast and the rest of the Broadcast Basement on-demand radio network. You just heard her run the Battle of Evergreen Park, because she's all grown up now. But 5 years ago was the first time that we ever met Faith and the Evergreen Park High School Unaccompanied Minors.
The EP Podcast.
I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together.
If I should call you up and toss and dine and just say you belong to me and ease my mind, imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together.
Together.
I can see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how they tried to, it had to be the only one for you, for me. So happy together.
No matter how they tossed the dice, it had to be the only one for me is you and you for me. So happy together.
So happy together.
Tell me about this group, the Unaccompanied Minors.
The Unaccompanied Minors is the spring semester version of the Madrigals, but as you can see, we fold in some more singers. The rep is all contemporary pop, rock, all chosen by the kids. I just put out a Google form at the beginning of the semester, say, hey, what do you want to sing? And we find some charts, and they put it together.
Who do I have down here at the end of the bar? I've met you before, but it was months ago.
Faith.
Faith. Hi,
Yeah.
Faith. I remember now.
Hi.
Faith, what type of music are you guys into? Like you personally, what
Me
type
personally,
of music? Yeah.
I'm the worst spokesperson for my generation because I listen to a lot of stuff that was released when I was still crawling on the floor.
Well, that's what most of the generation, though, seems to do. I mean, like, you're
Yeah.
perfect example. When I was your age, it would have been ridiculous for me to get into a car or get into a friend's car or turn on the radio in my room and listen to something from the early 1980s or late 1970s mixed in with my own music. It just didn't work. Now, all the popular music stations just still playing the stuff that I was playing when I was in high school.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me as musicians, and any one of you can answer this, as musicians, what do you guys think of that? Is that something where you just sit there and you get like super annoyed? Like, where's our Nirvana? Like, where's our brand new style of music? Go ahead. Faith, you're right by a microphone, so you go first.
I think with the music that's typically on the radio now, I miss a lot of the artistry and the craftsmanship that goes into the music. I'm actually going to school for production, so that's a big part of music for me, is like the value of what you're putting into the song, you know?
Grab that blue mic. It's hot. You can talk into that one.
To dumb it down, I hate it too. Yeah, I don't really like it that much at all. I like older music more than this music today.
And you're just waiting for somebody to come along with something different, or you just think that, like, that's it? This is the sound. It's going to be like this now forever.
For like 10 years at least.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Go. One of you guys go ahead, step over to that red mic and just go ahead and introduce yourself, because, you know, your parents are going to hear this.
All right,
No, they're not. Your parents don't even know what a podcast is. Go ahead.
You are exactly right. I'm Isaiah. How you doing?
Hi, Isaiah.
And
you're the funny one.
He's funny.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I hate it. Also, everything sounds the same.
Yeah.
It's no variety anymore.
And it's all styles of music. Country
Exactly.
music is the same way. It sounds exactly as
For
it used to
sure.
sound. Okay. I mean, hip hop and rap music is the same. It sounds very, very similar to what it sounded like. All these different, like, everything got big in the 90s and then it just kind of stayed there. Go ahead, buddy. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Brian,
What's
and
up, Brian?
I think my big issue is a lot of more popular music is less about like the vocal and more about like the music behind it and the background music and just like the rhythm and the beat and stuff like that.
Right.
And I'm more into like strong vocal music and strong singing, so it's less appealing to me.
Well, you guys live in the generation now where I see things like YouTube videos where, like, some dude just sits up there and spins records. And it's like, and 100,000 people show up in like Wembley Stadium to watch a guy who's just is playing something that was pre-recorded or mixing it. I'll tell you something. I used to charge dumb fraternities when I was at the University of Illinois and tell them that I knew how to mix songs so I could make money on the side. I would just show up with a pre-mixed thing and then just kind of put my hand in my ear and just kind of do one of these and then just throw my hand up every once in a while. Do this. Everybody thought I was doing it live. I think that's what's happening when you're buying a $40 ticket now to go watch somebody in the stadium. What's up, big guy? What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Cameron.
What's up,
And
Cameron?
As far as music is concerned, I could say I still live in the 80s because it seems
I
to
don't
me
even live in the 80s. You're an old soul,
I could go
Cameron.
back to the 60s if I wanted to. But it seems to me like a lot of the more recent music is more based on taking things that worked in the past and exploiting those and using the same formula
Right.
to make music that is supposedly successul, but it just feels uninspired.
Right. If I'm in the car, like, here's the thing. My dad would get in the car. Like, I remember Weezer came out when I was young. Okay. Like, I had the first Weezer album. Okay. And I remember I was listening to My Name is Jonas, like the first thing. And my dad walks by and he goes, "The workers are going home. What kind of stupid song is this?" And just moves on. Meanwhile, my kids put on stuff that's new. And I'm like, yeah, it sounds like my music. I'm like totally into everything that they do. My dad would have never been into it. I saw another hand back here. Step on up.
Hi, I'm Callie.
Hi, Callie.
So I have a bit of a different opinion from everyone else in the group. Sorry, it's not that I necessarily think that in today's day and age that there's a lack of new music. It's just that what is popularized and what's on the charts now, and it gives the image that this generation only has one sound, whereas if you just dig a little, you will find new musicians, new sounds. It's just not necessarily what's the status quo nowadays.
Okay.
So there tends to be, like Cameron said, a formula for what's on radio. But now we have all these alternative mediums like Spotify or YouTube that we are finding new music and new sounds. And it's just what caters to your taste now.
What's your favorite stuff? What do you listen to?
Oh,
Out of curiosity, since you like the stuff that's coming out now and you like it, what do you listen to? What's cool? Tell me now so I can make fun of it when my daughter starts listening to it.
Oh my god. It's.
You were going to say Weezer.
I do like Weezer.
It's the EP Podcast. All things Evergreen Park. It's the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park.
Your banana boom boom, the banana boom, my banana like a movie blue banana, potato, Cali row potato, Lee Cali, mano malika no chica, banana.
That's awesome.